Bishop Stadium on the banks of College Creek at the United States Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland. Terwilliger Brothers Field hosting Naval Academy doubleheader baseball this afternoon on Navy Athletics YouTube as the midshipmen take on the UMass Minutemen in Game 2 of this doubleheader. Hi, everybody. Scott Wyckoff alongside Director Matt McMahon and our Navy Assistant Sports Information Director focusing on baseball here with us today, Marshall Filipowicz, as the midshipmen looking to rally back from a 3-2 loss in the opener of this doubleheader to the UMass Minutemen. Another outstanding performance by Tyler Gren as he goes the distance, 7 innings pitched. He allows all 3 runs, 2 of them earned, only 5 hits in the tough loss for the midshipmen. Callan Powers went 6, allowing 9 hits but only 2 runs for UMass. Adam Merritt comes on with the 1-inning save. And the midshipman calling on starter Cody Clancy, his 3rd start of this young season. The freshman right-hander from Villa Rica, Georgia, outside of Atlanta, on the mound right now to get things going in what is Game 7 of an 8-game homestand for the midshipmen. The midshipmen wrap this series up, the series finale, tomorrow afternoon right here at 1 o'clock. So Game 2 underway. The first pitch by the freshman right-hander is in for a strike. To leadoff hitter, the center fielder, Anthony Tirado for UMass. Tirado 1 for 4 in the opener. Tirado misses outside. A couple of changes in the lineup if you were with us here on Navy Athletics YouTube for the first game. Jack Killalay is back behind the plate. His first appearance behind the plate this season. He was a DH in Game 1 as the count is now 2 balls and 1 strike. At shortstop, Ivan Aguirre, he moved over to shortstop late in the ball game in the opener, and those are kind of the 2 moves that are moved defensively for the midshipmen. Of course, with the pitcher Cody Clancy on the mound, his 5th appearance of the season, a 3.48 ERA and 10 1/3 innings of work, an 0-1 record, has pitched solid baseball through this early season for the midshipmen. But they thought he had a strike down low at 88 miles per hour. Not the case. So a leadoff walk to Anthony Tirado. Batting second, the second baseman for the UMass Minutemen, Braden Sullivan. Sullivan 1 for 3 with a run scored in Game 1. Midshipmen with Evan Brown at third, Ivan Aguirre at short, Brock Murtha at second, Victor Izquierdo at first, Noah Adidas in left field, Tyler Bouchard, the center fielder, Andrew Manning in right field. First pitch strike into Sullivan. Jack Killalay behind the plate. Cody Clancy, freshman, 6 foot, 190-pound right-hander. His last outing, a start against Sacred Heart last weekend, 2 innings of work. Allowed 3 runs on 3 hits, walked 3, and had 2 strikeouts. Home plate umpire is Ian Pittenger at first base. Calvin Baker. The third base umpire is Webb Turner, is assigned by the Patriot League. 0-1 the count to Braden Sullivan with a runner on first. The leadoff man, Anthony Tirado. Breaking ball at 76 miles per hour from Cody Clancy. Had 3 solid innings in his first career start in the home opener 10 days ago right here against Manhattan, allowing just 1 run on 1 hit, struck out 4. Out of the stretch is a fly ball to center field. Tyler Bouchard underneath it, first out of the ball game for the midshipmen. And as you could see, Tyler really moving over to his left as he started over in left center field and then moved almost over into right center field with the winds really ripping that massive Navy home American flag out in left center fielder and just inside the pines here at Max Bishop Stadium. Game 1, the winds were gusting well over 20 miles per hour. The pitch blocked in the turf by Jack Killalay. Jack injured to start the season, DH'd in his first appearance of the season yesterday on the ground ball RBI from Brock Murtha. Andrew Manning hitting third in the lineup. Manning hit cleanup and was 0 for 3 in the first game of the doubleheader. Looks at a first pitch ball. So it was a base hit, line drive, base hit for Noah Adidas to left field. Stole second. The ball got away, got into third, and then scored on the ground out by Brock Murtha. And the midshipmen cut the UMass lead in half. Andrew Manning hitting .225. Has started every game this season for the midshipmen. Right fielder. Even count, 1-1. That's low in the turf. A change in the lineup for UMass. Michael Toth, the catcher behind the plate. 5'11", junior from Granby, Massachusetts, gets the start. Fouled away. So Toth hitting .250, his fourth start of the season in the fourth game he started this year. Back behind the plate with redshirt junior Sam Beliveau delivering in tight off the hands of Andrew Manning. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 away. Navy has cut the UMass lead in half at 2-1 here in the home half of the first. Sun continues to shine at Max Bishop Stadium down on the Twiller Brothers Field. There's a line drive base hit between the third baseman and the shortstop for Andrew Manning as he goes the opposite way.
Now batting.
Manning on at first with 1 away. Jack Killaway getting his first start behind the plate after DHing for his first overall start of the season. Yesterday was the DH in game 1 of this one. A healthy Jack Killaway back in the lineup for Chuck Ristano. Navy, their 1 run on 2 hits. UMass, their 2 runs on 1 hit. A 2-run homer by Carter Hansen. Just like in the first game of the doubleheader. Beliveau misses away. His 15th pitch of the game at 80 miles per hour. The wind blowing in a little bit from left field to right field and really helped out Hansen on that home run to right field over the 370-foot marker. Bouncing ball up the middle, grabbed by Sullivan over to first. Double play. Sullivan takes the high bounce, touches on second over to first, but not before the midshipmen score 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, and 1 left. We move to the second. UMass leads Navy 2-1. Second inning, Indianapolis, state capital of Maryland. A sunshine afternoon at Max Bishop Stadium, Terwilliger Brothers Field. Here on the banks of College Creek. It was high tide for the first pitch of the first game of the doubleheader at 1 o'clock. This is game 2 of the 2-game doubleheader that was scheduled late this week after Navy's game here that was scheduled against George Washington University was rained out. So Navy head coach Chuck Ristano made the call to UMass head coach Matt Reynolds and say, hey, you want to play 4? He said, yeah. So that's the reason for the doubleheader here this afternoon. Midshipmen trail UMass 2-1, just like they did after 1 in the first game of this doubleheader. Leading things off, Ryan Colbin for UMass. Fouls it straight back. Navy fans, don't forget the online shopping experience offered by our partners, Fanatics, at NavySports.com. Just click on the Shop tab and find all the latest Navy Under Armour apparel at great prices. The 0-1 pitch misses in the turf. Don't miss out on the Jolly Rogers gear from the Army-Navy football game in December and from the Army-Navy baseball series coming up next weekend right here at Max Bishop Stadium. The store is a great place to shop for yourself or for the Navy fan in your family. Line drive to center field. Tyler Bouchard makes the put-out, one away.
Now batting number 24, Matt
Check out the latest Navy merchandise at NavySports.com. I'll be wearing my Jolly Rogers gear. Hope you do too. Is big weekend of baseball next week that we'll talk about as this game moves on here. Cody Clancy, quick first out. He'll deliver, and a quick timeout from Matt Trevisano, the third baseman. And ball one. So apparently Cody took too long, but it seems as though the Trevisano was still getting ready in the box. So a 1-0 count. Compliments of home plate umpire Ian Pittenger. Calvin Baker over at first. Webb Turner at third. Midshipman. Play straight away. Trevisano, he hit once high in the air to center field. Tyler Bouchard fades over towards right field. 2 balls to Tyler Bouchard for outs here in the second inning. Want a line drive and then a high fly ball.
Now
As the midshipmen move it around the horn and get it
Toth.
back to Cody Clancy. That brings up Michael Toth, the catcher. Starting game 2 of this doubleheader. That's Ryan Coleman. The DH in this one was the catcher in game 1 in a first pitch strike. To Toth. Fouls it off to the right side. Cody Clancy's 3rd start of the season, 5th appearance overall. 3.48 ERA coming in. This is his 12th inning of work. Breaking ball struck him out to sit down the midshipman here in the second. Already a pitching change for the Minutemen. Just 1 inning of work for the starter, Beliveau. He gives way to a former Navy midshipman, Jack Levine, the redshirt sophomore from Yarmouthport, Massachusetts, the transfer from the Naval Academy, a familiar face. Jack with a 12.60 ERA, a 1-1 record on the season. This will be his 3rd appearance, has pitched 5 innings, allowed 9 hits, 7 runs, all 7 earned. He's walked 3 and struck out 7. So a chance to pitch against his former teammates. That decision being made by a former assistant coach here at the Naval Academy. His head coach at UMass, Matt Reynolds. First pitch to Evan Brown, the 3rd baseman, batting 5th, moving up a little bit in the lineup, 1 spot here in game 2 of the doubleheader against the right-hander. Fouls it back. Evan Brown, 2 for 3 with a run scored in the first game, getting his bat going on this Saturday afternoon. Sunny, windy. First pitch temperature, 50 degrees. Breaking ball at 79 miles per hour for Levine. Levine, 6'5", 225 pounds. Redshirt sophomore, works from the stretch. Down to first base. Jack Beverly, who has been busy in this doubleheader, chasing down foul balls, ground balls. Makes the put out there. Victor Izquierdo, what a big opening game of this doubleheader that Victor had. Victor, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. So he plated both of Navy's runs, one with a double and one with a single. Up near 200 as he gets his bat going now. There's the first pitch to him from his former teammate, Jack Levine. Levine coming on in relief of Sam Beliveau. Beliveau pitches 1 inning. Izquierdo pops it into short right field. Braden Sullivan gives way to right fielder Carter Hansen and makes the putout, 2 down. So the very short line for Sam Beliveau, 1 inning pitched, allowed 1 run on 2 hits. That run was earned, and he threw 16 pitches, but it was his first appearance of the season. So apparently they wanted to just give an inning of work right off the bat. He gave up 1 run, and now he gets to watch the rest of this one. Levine in for a strike to Chris. The right-hander delivers. Misses on the outside corner. The designated hitter, Chris Klug, who made his college debut as a pinch hitter in the first game. Swung on and missed. Takes his cut. Klug, 6 foot, 185 pounds from Indianapolis, Indiana. Behind in the count at 1-2 with 2 away. Swung on and missed. Strikes him out. The midshipman. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left. 3 up, 3 down. We move to the third. The Minutemen out in front of the midshipmen, 2-1. Third inning, Indianapolis, UMass in game 2 of this doubleheader. Each game scheduled for 7 innings. Leads the midshipmen as they did early on in the first game of this doubleheader, 2-1. Jack Peters, the shortstop, leads things off for the Minutemen. 6'3", 185-pound redshirt junior from Duxbury, Massachusetts, a suburb of Boston. Cody Clancy on the mound for the midshipmen. Through 2 innings, has allowed 2 runs on 1 hit. That was a 2-run homer by Carter Hansen, who had a 2-run homer in the opener of this doubleheader for UMass. That one in the turf to Jack Killalay. His first game behind the plate this season. Started the year injured. Broke into the lineup for the first time yesterday as a designated hitter. The DH in game 1 of this doubleheader. Frames a pitch on the inside corner, but home plate umpire Ian Pittenger didn't like it. It is a leadoff walk to Peters. To the top of the order for the Minutemen, Anthony Tirado walked and scored on the Carter Hansen home run in the first inning. After a 1-for-4 day for Tirado in the first game. Midshipmen play him straight up the middle. In a little bit on the edge of the grass is Evan Carter. Evan Brown, the Navy third baseman. Brown looking possibly for a bunt. Izquierdo will hold on Peters at first. He'll get a little later charge from first base. Torado didn't give an indication there as the pitch goes over to first of squaring, but could be coy and holding back. 1 strike count. Top of the order now for UMass. A runner on, nobody out. They lead it 2-1 here in the third. Didn't show any signs of bunting on that one for a strike. 0-2, Torado behind in the count. Cody Clancy ahead. The graduate of South Paulding High School in Villa Rica, Georgia, outside of Atlanta. Right-hander throws, breaking ball, and he struck him out. Second strikeout of the ball game for Cody Clancy. A man on with an out. Braden Sullivan, UMass second baseman. Sullivan batting .273, his 10th start in the 10th game of the season for UMass. Peters on at first. The throw there, back in time. With that wind blowing, the midshipman back a little bit defensively in the outfield, but playing Sullivan straight away. Breaking ball. Misses. 1 ball count to the UMass second baseman. Up on the plate, his right foot back edge of the box. Breaking ball, he pops it straight back. Over top Fitzgerald Fieldhouse here. Midshipmen playing Game 7 of their 8-game homestand. It's the Patriot League against the A-10. UMass plays in the Atlantic 10. The Minutemen basketball team getting ready for that Atlantic 10 tournament coming up not too far from here in the nation's capital at Capital One Arena. New set of baseballs brought into home plate umpire Ian Pittenger. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2-1. UMass. Ivan Aguirre leads things off here in the third inning for Navy, trailing UMass 2-1, just like they did to start things off in the first game of this doubleheader. Scott Wyckoff with Director Matt McMahon and Navy Assistant Sports Information Director Marshall Filipowicz alongside. Navy in 2023, that debut against these same UMass Minutemen. Also, Navy in 2023, that debut against these same UMass Minutemen also pitched against Bucknell in the Patriot League that year. Last year, as the redshirt freshman for UMass, 6 games in relief, 1 win and a 3.6 games in relief, 1 win and a 3.65 ERA. So he'll have to pick it back up again, get back in the box, ahead in the count at 3-1 with 1 away. For men's lacrosse tickets, you can call 1-800-US4-NAVY. And there's ball 4. So second time he gets to flip that back towards the dugout and heads down to first base.
Number 27, Noah
Tyler Bouchard at first. Had a stolen base in game 1. Looking maybe to get another one here. Bouchard a perfect 7 for 7 on the base pass stealing. Back to the top of the order. Noah Ditas. Breaking ball. In for a strike. The reliever coming on for Sam Beliveau. Bouncing ball, base hit to right field. Rounding second. Going into third is Tyler Bouchard. Diving head first. And the midshipmen have runners at the corners with nobody out here in the third inning. Navy with 1 run. Navy with 1 run on 3 hits and no errors. UMass, their 2 runs on 1 hit, a 2-run homer by Carter Hansen. The difference in this one. Levine, 6'5" delivery at 90 miles per hour. Misses high. 3-ball count as Brock Murtha looks into the dugout for his signal at 3-0. Murtha batting .295. His 46th at bat of the season is a walk. Heads over to first base.
Now batting your right fielder, number 3.
He's walked 4 times this season, down to first. Heck, Andrew Manning walked 4 times in the series finale last Sunday against Sacred Heart. For the midshipman with runners at the corners with 2 outs. Andrew Manning had a base hit in the first inning. Steps in. Manning looks at an outside slider for a strike. Jack Killelay, the catcher, on deck. Already has his gear completely off, so he is confident that Andrew Manning will get on ahead of him. There goes the runner at first. The throw down to second base. Not in time, and the midshipman will score a run from third. The ball goes through. It was high on the throw from Michael Toth, and scoring from third base is Noah Adidas, and the midshipmen have tied it at 2. As the pitch was high for a ball here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Actually, a strike. In for a strike. We were thinking high on the high throw down to second base. It doesn't matter. The midshipmen score a run to tie it at 2. The pitch. Inside, leaning back, and actually hit him. So Andrew Manning doing what the midshipmen do so well. Hit by a pitch. He's down to first base. Brock Murtha at second base doing what he does so well. 9 for 10 with stolen bases this season. So for Jack Killelay, with 2 outs, he has a runner in scoring position in Brock Murtha at second base, and Andrew Manning, who was hit by the pitch at first base. Killelay, right-handed hitting catcher. That one's in tight on him, doesn't move. Looks at a ball. Brock Murtha will get a good lead at second, and both the second baseman, Breeden Sullivan, and Jack Peters, the shortstop, are aware of him as they're both faded over towards second base. The pitch, ground ball to Sullivan, to first, the putout, and that'll do it for the midshipmen. Not before they tie it with 1 run on 1 hit. No errors in 2 left. To the 4th, with the midshipmen and the Minutemen tied at 2. On a sun-splashed afternoon in Annapolis. To the 4th, Navy and UMass tied at 2. Cody Clancy so far 3 innings pitched for the midshipman, has allowed 2 runs on 1 hit, both earned, walked 2, and struck out 2. His 35th pitch of the ball game for a ball. Jack Beverly, the first baseman, 0 for 1 on the afternoon, leads it off for UMass. 19th ranked women's lacrosse team, as the ground ball is up the middle. Aguirre gets to it, but then goes off the heel of his glove, and that'll be an error on the Navy shortstop as Beverly reaches first to lead things off here in the 4th inning for the Minutemen. Midshipman women's lacrosse team starting their spring break in Florida at Jacksonville this afternoon. Then they'll make the short drive to Gainesville on Wednesday to play the Florida Gators. Then back home for Navy women's lacrosse next Saturday, the 15th, against Colgate in the Patriot League. That'll be at 1 o'clock, both on ESPN Plus and WNAV Radio. So nothing like getting to go to Florida for spring break. 19th ranked in the nation, Navy women's lacrosse team. Today, this afternoon against Jacksonville, and then a midweek game against a program that has really built itself on winning very quickly, University of Florida Gators. 2 balls, no strikes, nobody out to Carter Hansen. A pair of home runs on the afternoon in game 1 of this doubleheader, and here in the first inning in game 2. 2-run homers each. The delivery pulls it foul. Leadoff hitter at first base is Jack Beverly on the E6 on the ball that Ivan Aguirre moving to his left towards second base. Looks so he might be able to get a hold of it. Went off the heel of his glove. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Blocked in front of Killalay, but not before heading down to second base is Jack Beverly as it bounced all the way back into fair territory to the left side of the pitcher's mound. So the leadoff hitter advancing to second base. Couple errors for the midshipmen. And now with a runner in scoring position because of it. There's a foul ball. Carter Hansen, 375. 3 home runs on the season. The right fielder batting from the left side of the plate. Here's the pitch from Clancy. Blocked in the turf by Jack Killalay. It's a walk.
Number 27, Jared Munoz.
So Cody Clancy having to work now with 2 runners on with nobody out. Jared Munoz. And that will earn a trip to the mound by Navy pitching coach Tim Riley. Ryan Bibb is up in the bullpen for the midshipman, the sophomore right-hander. Last season, Tim Riley's pitchers for the midshipmen had an ERA of 4.52 as teams only hit .268 versus Navy pitching last year. In his first year as Navy's pitching coach, Navy's ERA dropped more than a run. So really building on what he has started here now in his 3rd season as a Navy midshipman pitching coach. He heads back to the class of 71 dugout along the third base line. Cody Clancy heads back to the rubber with 2 runners on and nobody out. Munoz bunts it up in the air. Killalay tried to catch it. It bounced out of his glove to throw the third for the out. Heads up play by Cody Clancy after a great defensive play by Jack Killalay. Got out of his stance and almost caught that ball down the third base line in what used to be the dirt at home. That would have been on the grass. It got away from him, but Cody Clancy came in to back him up, rifled down to third to get the lead runner. So 1 away now. Runners at first and second for the Minutemen. The designated hitter, Ryan Kolb, is Munoz. On a nice relay in by the midshipman, held him at third. There's a fly ball to short left field. Noah Didis in tight. He'll make the stab, throws it in, and holds the runners. So there was no way that Tagging up at third would be Munoz, and that try to fake it, try to maybe distract Noah Adidas. Unable to do it as Noah made the put out and rifled it in, and 2 away. The first 2 batters of the inning for UMass reaching base on Navy errors. 1 run is scored off that. Cody Clancy trying to get out of it here. In for a strike. Michael Toth, 0 for 1. Catching in this second game in the doubleheader for UMass. The pitch blocked by Clancy, by Killalay. Clancy runs in to cover home, and diving back into third base, thinking he might see a throw, was Munoz. So Jack Killalay has been very busy down in the turf, trying to block some pitches from Cody Clancy, and keeps that one in front of him to keep the runner at third base. 1-1 the count. Breaking ball, misses. 2-1, 2 away. In a 4th inning that has seen UMass take now a 3-2 lead. They jumped out in front 2-0. Midshipman answered back with 1 in the first, 1 in the third. But now 1 in the 4th so far for UMass. Breaking ball high. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 out. Toth, the junior, hitting .250 with that open stance from the right side of the plate. And then he pops it up sky high. Brock Murtha back onto the outfield turf underneath it and puts it away. The Minutemen with 1 run on 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left. To the bottom of the 4th with UMass leading Navy 3-2. Midshipman in the 4th inning at the plate. Leading it off for Navy is Evan Brown as they trail UMass 3-2. Navy baseball team will be taking on rival Army in the Star Series presented by USAA coming up next weekend, March 15th and 16th, right here at Max Bishop Stadium. First pitch from Jack Levine, a transfer from the Naval Academy to UMass, who, surprisingly enough, made his Navy debut back in 2023 as a plebe against UMass. 1 ball, 1 strike to Evan Brown. Brown 0 for 1 in this one, the second game of the doubleheader. Evan Brown was 2 for 3 with a run scored in the first game. Hits that fly ball to short center field. Shortstop Jack Peters back on the outfield turf, puts it away.
Now batting your first
That first game of the Army Star Series game for the midshipmen will feature a doubleheader starting at 1 with the first 100 fans in attendance receiving a free Jolly Rogers themed button. You want to get a hold of that. That's going to be outstanding as the Jolly Rogers theme will continue throughout the series. Then on Sunday, game 3 of the series with the first pitch set for 1 o'clock. Victor Izquierdo steps in for the midshipmen. And that Sunday game, the first 150 fans in attendance will receive a free jar of authentic Max Bishop Stadium infield dirt. Eric Beatty could win the award for the top marketing executive in all of college baseball with coming up with that idea when they were resurfacing the field here to all field turf to get that dirt. Izquierdo pops it to short right field. Braden Sullivan gives way to Carter Hansen, makes the put away, and 2 are down. I know, being the big horse racing guy I am, a lot of folks collect dirt from different tracks across the country, and I know that's a big thing for baseball fans too, so a chance for you next Sunday to get a jar of authentic Max Bishop Stadium infield dirt. Get here early for the 1 o'clock start next Sunday. Got to be the first 150 fans to get it. 2 away for the midshipmen in the bottom of the 4th, trailing 3-2. Chris Klug, the designated hitter, who made his college debut in the first game of this doubleheader. Klug started the season injured, has worked his way back into the lineup now. The designated hitter in this game, too. And he lines one for his first career base hit into left field. That's going to go into the corner. And Chris Klug rounds second base, makes the big turn, puts on the brakes. And what a way to start with a double for your first career hit as a midshipman by Chris Klug. Job well done by Klug. And he's going to come off for a pinch runner. Might have been injured on that play. Talks to the Navy training staff as he comes in. Coach Restano looks down his dugout to see who he's going to move out there with. Ivan Aguirre, the 8th hitter. And Ty DiPerno will run out to second base to pinch run. So great seeing Chris Klug with that double into the left field corner, but then tough seeing him leave for some sort of injury off to the dugout. Hopefully nothing too serious, as he just found his way into the lineup after an injury that started the season. Aguirre with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position at second base. The pinch runner, Ty DiPerno, being held on by Braden Sullivan. Big hole over towards first base. Aguirre tried to get there, but he popped it up into short right field. Carter Hansen in on it. But it's the first baseman who can't catch it, Jack Beverly, and scoring from second base is Ty DiPerno as he was on his horse with 2 outs. And all the way to second base is Ivan Aguirre. Beverly, Sullivan, and Hansen all coming together in short right field along the line. And it was Beverly, the one who called for the ball over his head. And the midshipmen now have tied it at 3, taking advantage of an error down the line by the Minutemen. And all the way to second base is Ivan Aguirre. So Hansen will be given the error as Hansen was coming on, I guess, called off Beverly. Aguirre at second base now. Breaking ball. Fisted up the middle. That'll drop in for a base hit. And that will score a run. Aguirre scores from second. And the midshipmen with their first lead of the afternoon at 4-3 on that fister up the middle by Tyler Bouchard. The bottom of the order, scoring runs for the midshipmen. And we move to the top of the order now. So that was a double by Ivan Aguirre. And then he scores on the base hit from Tyler Bouchard. So the midshipmen making things happen offensively and taking their first 1-run lead of the game at 4-3. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for the midshipmen. 3, 2, and 1 for UMass. Breaking ball hits Noah. So he goes down to first base. And the midshipmen now have 2 on with 2 out. Quite the rally we're watching here in the fourth inning for Navy. Already 2 runs scored, both with 2 outs. So Bouchard on the base hit with the RBI, moves to second base. Ditas hit by the pitch. A perfect 0 for 2 with a pair of base hits down at first. And Brock Murtha at the plate, hitting .289. Jack Levine, Brock's former teammate, catches the outside corner for a strike. 6 games in relief after transferring to UMass for Jack Levine last year. A 1-0 record and a 3.65 earned run average. Just a couple innings of work this year. That pitch away. So far, 2 2/3 innings. He's given up 4 hits, 3 runs. All 3 are earned. 2 walks and a strikeout. Levine looks back to second base to Bouchard. The pitch. Murtha fouls it hard down the right field line. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs to Brock Murtha. Midshipmen have scored 2 here in the fourth to take a 4-3 lead. Their first lead of the afternoon after it was a Carter Hansen home run in the first inning to give the Minutemen their lead that they've now relinquished here in the fourth inning. The pitch. It hits him. Brock Murtha hit by pitch. Back-to-back batters hit by pitch. So Murtha down to first. Ditas down to second. Bouchard at third. The base is loaded now for Andrew Manning with 2 away in the fourth inning. Andrew Manning was hit by a pitch in the third. Had a base hit in the first. 1 for 1. And it looks as though, well, the mound appearance by the pitching coach, Brandon Shalikis, former pitcher at Quinnipiac in his 3rd season at UMass. Former pitching coach across town in Amherst at Amherst College, Division III liberal arts school in the same town where the University of Massachusetts Amherst is located in western Massachusetts. Quickly sent back to the dugout is Shalikis by home plate umpire Ian Pittenger. And Andrew Manning steps in now with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The midshipmen with a 4-3 lead have already scored 2 here in the fourth inning. Both the 2 outs. The pitch. Bouncing ball softly up the middle, but it was foul. I think off the foot of Andrew Manning at 89 miles per hour. Even though that hurts hard, you don't get an exit speed on it, but Manning does have that protective gear on the inside of his right leg. Kind of helped out on that one. You kind of heard the crack from that pad. The pitch. Curveball for a strike. 0-2 the count to Andrew Manning with the bases loaded. 2 outs. Navy with their first lead of the ball game at 4-3. Here in the fourth inning, the pitch. Misses in the turf. So you hear the Navy dugout coming to life now. Trying to get Andrew Manning on. Bouchard off third. That one misses. Evens the count at 2-2. Bouchard at third. Brock Murtha at second. Noah Ditas at first. Actually, Ditas at second and Brock Murtha at first with the bases loaded. Levine, the tall right-hander. Breaking ball, misses outside. Andrew Manning works the count to 3-2 after falling behind 0-2 with 2 away. Jack Levine, who played baseball here at Navy as a plebe, now on the mound for UMass. The runner is going. The run will score from third. Bouchard on the walk to Andrew Manning. 3rd run of the inning for the midshipmen, who now lead it 5-3 with the bases still loaded and Jack Killaway coming up. So Levine getting in trouble here with a couple outs against his former teammates. Toth got enough of that another run didn't score with Noah Ditas at third. Brock Murtha at second. Andrew Manning at first. The pitch. Swung on to right field. Carter Hansen back to the warning track. Makes the put out for the Minutemen. For the Midshipmen, they take the lead. 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 3 left. We move to the 5th. Navy out in front of UMass 5-3. Midshipmen with their first lead of the afternoon, 5-3 after scoring 3 runs in the 4th inning. We are back at Max Bishop Stadium. Beautiful sunny early March afternoon. Hope you can join us again tomorrow on Navy Athletics YouTube after we spring forward for a 1 o'clock first pitch. First pitching change of the ball game for the Midshipmen. 4 innings of work for Cody Clancy. Allows 3 runs on 2 hits and 2 errors. And we have a pinch hitter,
UMass, number 23,
Mitchell Schroeder comes in to pinch hit to lead things off here. And on to pitch in relief for the Midshipmen, Ryan Bibb. His 3rd appearance of the season. Has pitched 3 innings, 2 hits, no runs, and a strikeout. Gets an opportunity here. Pitched in that Sacred Heart Series last weekend. The right-hander delivers. Hard breaking ball at 84 miles per hour to Schroeder. His first at-bat of the ball game from the right side of the plate. Fouls it down the right field line. Mitchell Schroeder pinch hitting for Jack Peters. Leading off the 5th inning for UMass. Blocked in the turf by Jack Killalay, the first start he has had on this brand new turf field here at Terwilliger Brothers Field behind the plate. Getting used to that. There's a hard hit ball to right center field. Tyler Bouchard watches it roll to the wall. Bouchard comes up with it. And Schroeder, the pinch hit double to lead things off in the 5th inning for UMass. Head coach Matt Reynolds pushing the right buttons there. Gets his leadoff hitter on, trailing for the first time in the ballgame, 5-3. To the top of the order now, Anthony Tirado. Tirado, 0 for 1 with a walk to lead off the ballgame and struck out in the 3rd.
Number 7, Anthony
Against
Tirado.
Ryan Bibb on in relief for the Midshipmen. So Bibb gets the call from the bullpen. The first pitcher out of the bullpen in this doubleheader as Tyler Gren went the distance. 7 innings in the first game. That one's a ball. Ryan Bibb, the sophomore, used 9 pitches to get 3 outs in a relief appearance against Air Force. Also had a short relief appearance that was effective against Sacred Heart. Now on the mound for the Midshipmen here in the 5th inning. Gave off a leadoff double to the power alley in right center field, right between the 390 and 370 foot white markers on the green wall of the Navy outfield. That's Mitchell Schroeder leading off second base now. Breaking ball, fisted foul by Anthony Tirado. Tirado batting .360. The leadoff hitter, center fielder. So the midshipman manufacturing runs aggressively at the plate and on the base paths. Pulls the bunt foul. Was trying to drag it a little bit. Combination sacrifice, or almost looking like he wanted to get a base hit out of it. Evening the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ryan Bibb on in relief. From the stretch, looks back to Mitchell Schroeder, who led off with a double at second base. The delivery, this is high and outside at 87 miles per hour. I didn't check out the TrackMan, but that double by Schroeder was hit really hard into right center field. And that's where he is at second base now. Breaking ball is high, so a walk. So the first 2 batters that Ryan Bibb has faced here in the 5th inning have reached base. Braden Sullivan, the second baseman, 0 for 2. Flied out to center field in the first inning and hit into a double play to end the third. And it looks as though that'll be it for Ryan Bibb as Navy head coach Chuck Ristano heads out to the mound. He'll take the ball from the sophomore reliever. He comes off without getting it out. And we'll see who comes on now in the pitching change for the midshipmen. So Bibb comes on in relief of Cody Clancy. Gave up that double to right center field by Schroeder. Landon Crewer. First time we've seen Landon this weekend. He will come on in the 5th inning. Crewer is the active career save leader in all of NCAA baseball. That's Division I, Division II, Division III. And I would imagine junior college too. With 26 career saves, a Navy record, just 2 away from the Patriot League record. And now Landon Crewer coming on to shut things down. What Navy hopes now here in this one. Earned his first save of the season right here in the first game of this homestand against Manhattan. That Navy record, 26 saves, the all-time Navy saves leader. 2 saves away from the Patriot League record. The career leader in saves among all active NCAA pitchers. Also struck out 2 in 2 2/3 innings of work in the Freedom Classic against Air Force. And now at home, Landon Crewer, senior right-hander, 6 foot, 185 pounds, from Sellersburg, Indiana, Our Lady of Providence High School. I know his parents, if they can't make it to the ball game, love to listen in, be it on ESPN Plus or here on Navy Athletics YouTube. Also, this season, a new opportunity throughout the season. We'll have games brought to you also on WNAV radio. Most of those games will be midweek games and some assorted games in the weekends. Great to continue our Navy Athletics partnership with WNAV radio. You hear all the Navy football games on WNAV. You hear Navy men's and women's lacrosse, men's and women's basketball, and now some assorted Navy men's baseball games. So, with 2 on and nobody out, Landon Crewer, the ace out of the pen, with Victor Izquierdo charging in from third. The pitch, a ball. LK, as he's known by his teammates, looks back to second base. Pitch, scoring the bunt. The bunt right back up the middle. Killalay will fake down to third. Bounces it to first, not in time. Jack Killalay thought he might have a chance at the lead runner on the sacrifice bunt attempt at third base. Didn't. And by the time he turned and threw down to first, it was not in time. So now the base is loaded with nobody out for UMass.
Number 11, Jack
Jack Beverly, 0 for 2. Did reach on an error in the fourth and popped out to the shortstop in game one in Ivan Aguirre in the first inning. The pitch by Landon Crewer, breaking ball at 82 miles per hour outside. That blue, navy blue, 45 at the back of his white jersey with the bases loaded, nobody out. Blocked in the turf by Killalay. His last inning, it was the Navy bench you heard in the background getting things going. Now you're hearing the boisterous UMass dugout. 2 balls, 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Midshipman with a 5-3 lead, but in a little bit of trouble right now with the bases loaded against them. The pitch in for a strike at 93 miles per hour by the career saves leader for the Midshipmen with 26. Looks over to third, works out of the stretch. Did he go? No. Jack Beverly with a 2-2 count and the bases loaded and nobody out. Up against the stopper out of the Navy bullpen, Landon Crewer. 2 of these runners were from Ryan Bibb in relief. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Landon Crewer with the strikeout. And home plate umpire Ian Pittenger, after the strikeout, is walking out towards first base, actually third base umpire Calvin Baker, and then Webb Turner joins in too. Not exactly sure what the discussion is on this. Did Landon maybe say something after the pitch? It was clearly a strikeout. And he kind of pointed off Chuck Ristano, who's standing outside the Navy dugout now on the warning track, wondering what they're talking about. It's a strikeout. It would be the first out of the inning with the bases loaded. Coach Ristano going back towards the dugout now as the meeting continues between Ian Pittenger, Calvin Baker, and Webb Turner. Our umpire crew, as assigned by the Patriot League here this afternoon. A Patriot League Atlantic 10 matchup. The Midshipmen from the PL, UMass from the A10. And now Chuck Ristano will get the explanation he's looking for, while Landon Crewer takes advantage of warming up with Brock Murtha. Former catcher in his own right, Brock Murtha, keeping his pitcher warm here. And now Matt Reynolds is heated, talking to one of the umpires on the field about what's going on here. So 2 of the umpires are talking to Chuck Ristano, the other talking to Matt Reynolds. And Matt Reynolds, the head coach of the Minutemen, he is the one who's animated right now. And he was kind of waving his arm like wanting to maybe throw someone out of the game. I'm not sure. Reynolds, a former assistant coach here at Navy. 7 years an assistant coach from 2008 to 2014. For former Navy head coach Paul Kostakopoulos. Played for Costi at the University of Maine before transferring in college at UMass. Grew up in Boston, went to Boston Latin High School. Left Navy for his first head coaching job across the Bay Bridge at Washington College in Chestertown. Was there for 3 years before getting the job at his alma mater. And the discussion continues now without Chuck Ristano. So the Navy head coach went to the mound to talk to Landon Crewer to give him an explanation on what he was said. We're not going to get an explanation. You saw the umpire, Ian Pittenger, point down to third base.
Now batting number 10, Carter Hansen.
Not exactly sure what that was all about, but whatever it is, the Midshipmen have 1 out now with the bases still loaded. With Landon Crewer with a long delay. Now back of the mound. Sun shining on the only dirt on the field. Fouled away. Ahead in the count, 0-1. To Carter Hansen. Hansen, 1 for 1. A 2-run homer. A warning to the Navy pitcher, Landon Crewer. So he must have said something or made some sort of motion that umpire Ian Pittenger behind the plate didn't like, and he has been warned. The pitch for a strike. So it seems as though it's fired up Landon Crewer. A 92-mile-an-hour fastball after being warned on the mound after his first strikeout of the game in relief of Ryan Bibb, in relief of Cody Clancy with the bases loaded and one away. Fouled ball. It actually got away. I thought he swung on it. He did. 1 run scores. A 2nd run scores. Killalay sliding over to collect the ball over by the Navy on deck circle. So with the bases loaded, the ball gets away from Killalay behind the plate, and we are now tied at 5. So Carter, I believe, strikes out, and then the ball got away from Jack Killalay, and 2-run score with the bases loaded. Now just a man on third base with 2 outs. So it was a swinging third strike down in the turf. Landon Crewer has a win opportunity now out of the bullpen. Tied at 5. Munoz at the plate. Looks at the ball down in the turf. Braden Sullivan at third base now. 2-run score on the ball in the turf that gets away from the Navy catcher when the bases were loaded. The pitch. Ground ball. Aguirre at second base. Out over to first. He'll end the inning. 2 runs for UMass on 2 hits. No errors and 1 left. We move to the bottom of the 5th inning. Navy and UMass are tied at 5. What a wild top of the 5th that was. The bottom line is UMass comes up with 2 runs, and they tie the score at 5 after Navy took a 5-3 lead after 4. Evan Brown leads things off here in the 5th for the midshipmen. Nice day so far from Evan. First pitch. Curveball from Jack Levine, who came on in the 2nd inning in relief for starter Sam Beliveau. Beliveau was perfect in the 1st inning, just sat down after actually gave up 1 run, but did not answer in the 2nd in his first appearance of the year. And since then, it is in the former midshipman, Jack Levine. Ahead in the count 0-2. Did he go around? Yes, he did, says first base umpire Calvin Baker. Leadoff hitter Evan Brown goes down on strikes. Victor Izquierdo steps in at the plate for the midshipman. Victor with a big game in the opener of this one. 2 for 3 with 2 RBI. He had a base hit into left field for an RBI, and he had a double for another RBI. And also made 4 putouts in the field and 3 assists, earning his keep in the Navy lineup as his bat comes to life now. 0-1 the count to Izquierdo. Low, picked out of the turf by Michael Toth. 1 away, 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to the Navy first baseman. That one goes back to the screen. So Navy's 5 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. UMass 5 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. In the top of the 5th that we saw the Navy reliever Landon Crewer get a warning after a long discussion from the umpire crew after getting the first strikeout of the inning, and then the midshipmen watched the Minutemen score 2. Ground ball up the middle. Base hit for Victor Izquierdo. His third hit in this doubleheader. And his bat has come to life here on this second home weekend series of the season for the Midshipmen. Last week, Midshipmen had their first weekend series at home against Sacred Heart. Here this afternoon, 2 7-inning scheduled doubleheaders. The first game was won by UMass 3-2 on a pitcher's duel between Callan Powers for UMass and Tyler Grin, who went the distance for the Midshipmen, only allowing 3. Midshipmen, I think, left 7 on base in that first game, which is very difficult to do when you're up against a pitcher like Callan Powers were throwing. Levine throws. Another base hit up the middle for the Midshipmen. Izquierdo will stay put at second base. 2 men on with 1 out. Almost identical balls up the middle. Navy shortstop, Ivan Aguirre, steps in now for the Midshipmen with 1 away. So Aguirre looking to move these runners. Was a pinch runner himself in the first game, getting the start at shortstop for Henry Mitchell here in the second game. The senior from Temple City, California, Damien High School, 5'10", 170 pounds. And that will do it for the former midshipman, Jack Levine. Levine patted on the shoulder by his coach, Matt Reynolds, who points to the bullpen. Not easy for a player to come back to his former school and pitch, but Levine does. 3 1/3 innings of work for Levine. Navy scores 4 runs off their former teammate on 6 hits. All 4 runs earned. He walked 3 and struck out 2 and threw 61 total pitches. So Levine gives way on his return to Annapolis. And the call to the bullpen. It's Bobby McDonough, the sophomore redshirt right-hander from Arlington, Massachusetts, just across the river from Boston. So with 2 on and 1 out, McDonough will get the call from his head coach, Matt Reynolds. Bobby McDonough, who was Sam Beliveau in his first appearance of the season, only pitched an inning, gave up 1 run. Levine pitches 3 1/3. And now it is the job of Bobby McDonough to come on in relief. McDonough getting his warm-up pitches in here. As the Midshipmen are looking to get a couple runs back in this one that's tied at 5. McDonough, his 3rd appearance of the season, a 9.64 earned run average, has pitched 4 2/3 innings, allowed 2 runs on 3 hits, and on now in relief with this ball game tied at 5. So the Midshipmen tried to find themselves a way to get those runs back from that crazy top of this 5th inning, and they have made some nice progress on that. 2 runners on with 1 away. Midshipmen trying to snap the 2-game losing streak. So Ivan Aguirre, the shortstop. Aguirre gets his first look at Bobby McDonough. The first pitch from McDonough in relief. Misses low and away. McDonough, 6'3", 220-pound redshirt sophomore, a transfer from William and Mary. Pitching in the Mid-Atlantic. Here at Navy, pitched his college ball before transferring to UMass for William and Mary. Wind continues to blow. Some of the sunshine giving way to shade out in the field right now as we move along here this afternoon in the doubleheader. There's a pitch that misses inside. Ivan Aguirre ahead in the count, 3-0 with one away and 2 runners on. Got some changes in the field to let you know about. Thanks to Marshall Filipowicz for helping me out on that. Beverly moves to third, Travisano to short, and Willie to third. How about that? So moving the players around. Defensively, the midshipman with 2 runners on and 1 out. There's a hard hit ball to right field. Carter Hansen makes the catch, and the midshipman will have to hold. Izquierdo holds it second. And Evan Brown, actually over at first, Ty DePerno. So Tyler Bouchard, 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored here in this one. Producing from the 9th spot in the Navy batting order against reliever Bobby McDonough for UMass. 2 on, 2 out. Runners at second and first for the midshipman. The pitch catches the outside corner at 87 miles per hour. McDonough looks back to second base. Delivers. That one a little bit high and got away. 74-mile-an-hour breaking ball. Tyler Bouchard, right up on the plate. From the left side of the plate. Bouchard fouls it straight back, right where I parked. A little farther over from your car, Matt. Mine was right in the path. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Midshipman trying to regain the lead. Tied at 5 in the 5th. Here in Annapolis, the delivery swung on and missed. McDonough on in relief, gets out of the inning for the Minutemen. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. Navy and UMass are tied at 5 if we go to the 6th. Sixth inning in Annapolis. Second game of a doubleheader, each scheduled for 7. The first one went 7 with UMass winning 3-2. This one in the 6th with Navy and UMass tied at 5. Ryan Colbin, the designated hitter, 1 for 2 on the afternoon with a double. Swung on a miss from Navy career saves leader Landon Crewer. On the mound, intercollegiate sailing with a big weekend on the waters up and down the East Coast. While the midshipmen are playing baseball here in Annapolis. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out. Landon Crewer with a quick strikeout to start things here in the 6th, his 3rd of the ball game. Navy intercollegiate sailing team here in the Jen Harris Spring Team Race in Annapolis, also at the St. Mary's Team Race in Southern Maryland and St. Mary's City, and also at the Bob Bavier Team Race in Charleston, South Carolina this weekend. Another busy weekend for Navy Athletics with the midshipmen tied at 5 here. Game 3 of a 4-game weekend series against UMass. Midshipmen looking for their 4th win of the year. Landon Kruer working quickly, misses outside. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 away. Navy, 5 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. UMass, 5 runs on 3 hits and 1 error. A couple mistakes. That ball pops the glove off the hand of Jack Killalay. Couple errors in the first game led to some Navy runs, and now Navy trying to make up a couple that got away from them here in the second game of the doubleheader. The nightcap, the pitch. Inside corner for a strike to Matt Trevisano. So Trevisano moves over to shortstop. Uses every bit of that batter's box. Swung on and missed. High heat, 92 miles per hour. A fastball out of the zone. Landon Kruer gets Trevisano to swing and miss. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Walks him. You can hear that ball snapping into the glove of Jack Killalay. 1 on with 1 out now for the midshipmen's opponents on this weekend. The Minutemen of UMass, University of Massachusetts in Amherst. Midshipmen wrap up the series with UMass here tomorrow at 1 o'clock. We'll have it for you on Navy Athletics YouTube. And then on the road on Wednesday against Fordham in New York City. Before a big weekend series next weekend against Army Star Series. Should be some great baseball. Doubleheader on Saturday. Single game on Sunday. Pitch to Michael Toth. Toth, the catcher in this second game for UMass. Landon Kruer misses outside. You might say, whoa, Landon Kruer is pitching in the 6th inning. This is scheduled for 7. Second game of the doubleheader. The first game went 7 innings. A UMass 3-2 win. Pitching coach Tim Riley out to the mound now. You know he's going to leave Landon in there, but just discussing what's going on, maybe slowing him down a little bit. Landon moving very quickly. As one of the trivia questions here, the ball game up on the Jumbotron out in left field was, what was the first season of Navy baseball? Well, of course, with all the hard work that Marshall Filipowicz does to keep me informed, I knew it. I didn't want to give it away. 131st season of Navy baseball here in 2025. You do the math, dating all the way back to 1893, and 103 of those seasons on this piece of real estate at the Naval Academy, which is now known as Terwilliger Brothers Field and Max Bishop Stadium. 2-0 count with 1 out, runner at first for UMass. There's a fly ball to right field. Andrew Manning underneath it and makes the put out. 2 are away. Landon Kruer on in relief. Cody Clancy with the start. Clancy got into the 5th inning. He was relieved by Ryan Bibb. Bibb put 2 runners on, and now Landon Kruer looking for what would be a win. No longer a save appearance for the big right-hander out of the bullpen. So we won't be seeing a record-setting save from Landon Kruer. Every time he will get a save this season, it'll be a record. Comes in now with 26 saves after getting a save last weekend. Looks over his shoulder with a runner on first. Delivers. Fisted foul. Down past into the Navy dugout. Mark Willie, batting 9th now. Inserted into the lineup late in this ball game. Willie, 6'4", looks at a ball. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 away. Landon Kruer, the reliever, with the runner at first. Perfect pitch. Again, the snap of that 91-mile-per-hour fastball. Painting the plate. Midshipman play Mark Willie straight away, both in the infield and out in the outfield. Lennon Crew misses outside. The runner runs. Kind of a delay steal, but Jack Killaway nailed him. Wow! What an arm by the Navy sophomore catcher, gunning down the runner who got a huge jump on him on the delayed steal. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left. We move to the bottom of the sixth. Navy and UMass tied at 5. Home half of the sixth inning. Navy and UMass tied at 5. The top of the sixth inning on what the late, great voice of the midshipman, Pete Metters, would have said was a howitzer from Jack Killaway on a delayed steal. The runner was almost 3/4 of the way down to second base before Jack threw the ball and rifled him down in the inning. That was a big, big play by the midshipman. Top of the order here in the sixth for Navy. Noah Adidas, 2 for 2 with a run scored. Fouls it back. Brock Murtha on deck for the midshipman. Brock's had an afternoon where he's walked. He's been hit by a pitch. And the one time he grounded out, it was an RBI in the first inning. Pitches away. Bobby McDonough on in relief for UMass. Third pitcher of record for the Minutemen. Starter only went 1 inning. A long run. There's a line drive up the middle. Glove, though, as it kind of was knocked down by the wind. But no throw from Travisano, the shortstop. And reaching, are we talking 5 times now? A leadoff hit. 6 times for Noah Adidas. Uncanny, the ability of the plebe to lead off the bottom of an inning here at home and get on base, and he does it again. A base hit up the middle. Thought it was going to get to center field. Travisano, nice work to get over and glove it, but he had no throw and no play at all at first. Here's Brock Murtha, scores the bunt down the third base side. Fielded there by Beverly. Over to first, makes the putout. The sacrifice working for the midshipman. Brock Murtha in this tie ball game moves leadoff hitter Noah Adidas to second base. Brock Murtha, who played 2 seasons at Notre Dame when Coach Ristano was the pitching coach for the Fighting Irish in South Bend, and just loved the fact that he had Brock Murtha to join him here when he became the head coach of the midshipmen, and he does everything asked of him, as you just saw there. The leading hitter for the midshipmen, giving up an at-bat with a sacrifice bunt. All that Beverly could do at third base charging in was throw it down to first, and it moves Noah Adidas to second base in this tie game with 1 out, 5-5. Andrew Manning takes a fastball at 87 miles per hour. Andrew Manning in the opener of this doubleheader, 0 for 3. Lines it to left field for a base hit. Here's Ditas, rounds third. He will score the throw into second base. What are they going to say? Wow. So that will end the inning. Midshipman. Oh, it was caught. Came in on it. No, I didn't think it was caught either. I guess I'm the only one. As the midshipmen come off, still tied at 5. We've played 6 in Annapolis. Seventh inning in Annapolis. Navy and UMass tied at 5, and the nightcap of the doubleheader here scheduled for 7. Big Mark Willie will lead things off for UMass. So that 6th inning finished with the line drive off the bat of Andrew Manning, doubling up Noah Ditas at second base. Landon Crewer returns in relief. 2 innings pitched. No runs, 1 hit, has walked 1, has struck out 3, has thrown 30 pitches. Pitch number 31 misses outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Navy 5, UMass 5. Midshipmen looking to snap a 2-game losing streak, while UMass trying to extend what is them a 4-game unbeaten streak. 3 wins and a tie, a midweek tie in a game that went to extra innings and some bad weather against Quinnipiac. Foul ball on the first base side. Willie in game 1 had 1 at bat, was 0 for 1 with a walk, so credited with the walk. And he hits a hard ball down the right field line. Will it stay fair? It is foul, is it? Nope, they say it's a home run just inside the foul pole. The wind wrapping that ball around the foul pole. A leadoff home run by Mark Willie to give UMass a 6-5 lead. I thought he hit it harder than this. The exit speed at 92 miles per hour, but the wind getting a hold of it and just wrapping around the foul pole just to the outside of the bullpen for the Minutemen. So warming up at the bullpen for the midshipmen, Beatty and Plummer. So the midshipmen with a couple arms in the bullpen with Landon Crewer giving up his first run of the ball game on the solo leadoff shot by Willie. Anthony Tirado, the leadoff hitter, top of the order now for the Minutemen. Landon Crewer with the strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Willie didn't think that one was fair. He kind of stopped as he was going down first base, but then first base umpire Calvin Baker was responsible for that call. Called it a fair ball right around the foul pole. And now UMass with the 6-5 lead in the 7th. Base hit up the middle by Tirado. Brock Murtha almost got to it diving, would not have had a play at first as Tirado was well down the first base line. So a runner on with nobody out. 1 run scored here in the 7th inning for UMass to take the 6-5 lead. Braden Sullivan, the second baseman, hitting second in the order for UMass. 1 for 3 with a base hit. And a runner at first base. Crewer squares the bunt, fouls it right to his on-deck circle. So Landon ahead in the count. Beatty and Plummer are warming up in the bullpen for Navy. Coming on in relief is Landon Crewer. Crewer into his 3rd inning pitched. Looking for an out. Misses outside. Izquierdo was charging hard from first base with a runner on first. The base hit by Tirado after the leadoff home run by Mark Willie to give UMass their 6-5 lead. Here's Crewer. There's the bunt. Crewer will field it, and he will go to first to Brock Murtha. Might have had a play. Could have been tough at second base, but wants to start getting some outs to get out of this inning. So Landon Crewer with the assist, the put out by Brock Murtha. Jack Beverly now at third base for UMass. Remains in the 3rd spot in the batting order. 0 for 3 this afternoon with a strikeout with a runner on second and 1 out after the sacrifice bunt and the first pitch strike from Landon Crewer. All-time saves leader for the midshipman with 26. Will not get a save in this one. The pitch. There's a fly ball to right center field. Andrew Manning makes the play, fires it in to Ivan Aguirre at second base. Nice throw. Trying to double him up. Ivan Aguirre covering the bag. So 2 are away after the leadoff home run for UMass to take the 6-5 lead. The midshipmen looking to get the 3rd out of the inning against someone else who's hit a home run today. A pair of home runs. A pair of 2-run home runs. One in the opener of the doubleheader, now in the nightcap. Carter Hansen. Left-handed hitting right fielder. Anthony Tirado with a base hit at second base. Held on by Ivan Aguirre. Backs up, back to short. Fouls it off his foot. Carter Hansen. So it's been the long ball that's hurt the midshipmen in this one. A 1st inning home run, a 2-run homer by Carter Hansen, and now a 7th inning leadoff homer, a solo shot by Mark Willie. Swung on and missed. Breaking ball at 82 miles per hour from Landon Crewer. 6 foot, 185-pound senior right-hander. All Patriot League preseason selection. Running, swung on, fouled. No, did not foul it to first, so it's a strikeout and put out at third base. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We move to the bottom of the 7th inning in this doubleheader, scheduled for 7. Midshipmen trail UMass 6-5. Bottom of the 7th inning in Annapolis. UMass leads Navy 6-5. The nightcap of the doubleheader scheduled for 7. Jack Killalay leads it off for the midshipman. Killalay, Brown, and his Kirito up, looking to either extend it or win it for the midshipman. And there's a base hit on the first pitch of the inning. Jack Killalay, a triumphant return to the Navy lineup this weekend. After starting the season injured, had one of the best throwouts that you will see all season long just a couple innings ago to end a big scoring threat by UMass. And while he rifled that ball down to second base on that play, he rifles that ball off his bat at 107 miles per hour from the TrackMan into left field. And a pinch runner. So Owen Peterson will run for Jack Killalay, and he will be greeted by his dugout in fine fashion, doing exactly what Coach Restano asked of him to get on. And now Owen Peterson over at first base to run for him. Evan Brown, 0 for 3 with a strikeout this afternoon. Squares to bunt early. Pulls back. Oh, strike. Looked like from TrackMan that it was outside the strike zone at 86 miles an hour. Evan Brown with a runner on first. Squares to bunt again. This time he gets it down and it's foul. So he's behind in the count, 0-2. Midshipmen are down a run. Trying to get back in this one. 6-5. Bottom of the 7th inning. Second game of the doubleheader. Scheduled for 7. First game of the doubleheader, 7 innings, won by UMass, 3-2. Bobby McDonough, the reliever, pitches. Base hit to left field. Evan Brown can't get the bunts down, says, what the heck? I'm going to fire it into left field off my bat, and the midshipmen have 2 on and nobody out. That ball fielded in left field by Gavin O'Brien. On in for Jared Munoz defensively, and it's Willie who had that home run that is the lead run right now to lead off the 7th. He is now at first base with Jack Beverly making him over the 3rd. 2 hard hit balls to left field, both between the shortstop and the third baseman, putting Jack Killalay on first base. Owen Peterson, the base runner for him, now at second base. Evan Brown, his first hit of the ball game, 1 for 4 now. He's at first base. Nobody on. Bottom of the 7th inning. Midshipmen need 1 to tie to extend this, 2 to win it. Head coach Matt Reynolds out of the bullpen. An unfamiliar bullpen for him here at Annapolis. Calling for the pitching change. We'll go with the right-hander, as he for 7 seasons walked out of the third baseline dugout, the home dugout, as an assistant coach to Paul Kostakopoulos. So coming back on the mound in relief is the reliever who got the save in the first game with just 1 inning of relief. It'll be Adam Merritt. So Adam Merritt, with quite a day, was a pinch runner in game 1 and the reliever. And now we'll look for his second save of the afternoon. It was Adam Merritt, a perfect 7th inning in the opener of the doubleheader. No runs, no hits, 2 strikeouts, no walks. Faced 3 batters and retired them on only 11 pitches. Called upon now to do the same thing for UMass with Navy. 2 runners on. Jack Killalay led off the inning with a shot to left field, and almost exactly the same hit followed up by Evan Brown with his first base hit of the second game of the doubleheader, also to left field. And the midshipman aggressive at the plate. It was Evan Brown who took a strike on the bunt, pulled his bat back. The TrackMan showing the pitch out of the strike zone, but then his second bunt attempt went fouled on the third baseline. And in an 0-2 count, he took the Bobby McDonough delivery and put it into left field, sending us up where we are right now with Adam Merritt on the mound, looking for his second save of the afternoon. Picked up the save in the opener. If you missed the opener here on Navy Athletics YouTube, Navy drops a 3-2 decision to UMass, but another great pitching performance by Tyler Grin. 7 innings pitched, 3 runs on 5 hits, 2 of those runs earned. He walked 1, struck out 3, threw 94 pitches, going the distance, 7 innings in game 1 of this doubleheader. Tough loss, his first loss of the season. So Adam Merritt, given his warm-up pitches, the midshipman base runners who had come back to the dugout return to the base pass. Over at first base, Evan Brown. Adam Pavkovich, the first base coach for the midshipmen, joined the staff last season, was a coach at Notre Dame with Coach Restano, and Coach Restano established himself as one of the top pitching coaches, if not the top pitching coach in the nation for UMass. And apparently his Adam Merritt's conversation wristband not working to get the signals out to the mound, so they will bring that over, give him another wristband. That's how he gets the pitches. The bench will call the pitch, and both the catcher and the pitcher receive it on that wristband. And he puts the new wristband on, thrown out to him. Evan Brown at first base. Owen Peterson at second base after the Jack Killalay leadoff single. Pinch runner, Owen Peterson now at second base. His first appearance in this doubleheader. Leads off. Nobody out for the midshipmen. Trailing by a single run is Kirdo. Squares early to bunt. Pulls back. High at 90 miles per hour from Adam Merritt, who had a perfect relief appearance. 1 inning of work. Retiring everybody he faced. Looks back to second base to Owen Peterson. Shaded infield now. The pitch. Big hole at second base as it was a shortstop, Travisano, covering second. And charging at the corner was Willie from first. Beverly anchored at third base with the Navy runner at second. 2 balls, no strike. Victor Izquierdo squares again. First baseman Willie's almost right on top of him. Gets the bunt down. Perfect bunt down the third baseline. Might get a base hit out of it. Does. Bases are loaded. Victor Izquierdo fired up out of his mind at first base as he drops the bunt down the third baseline. And Adam Merritt not able to make the play down to first, and the midshipmen have loaded the bases. Trailing 6-5 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Scheduled for 7 in the second game of the doubleheader. Ty DiPerno steps in, and there will be another discussion on the mound, and Matt Reynolds returns to the mound. We'll see if that's it for Adam Merritt. I think they're going to discuss their strategy on this one, if they want to bring in the infield to shut down the run or maybe go for the double play. Perfect situation for Navy with DiPerno coming on for Chris Klug. Really disappointing. Chris Klug, his first career hit as a midshipman early in the ballgame in this one was a double in the left field corner, then came off with some injury. Klug had missed every game before this with an injury. Hopefully it's nothing serious. What a big week ahead for the midshipmen. Not only is it the Army-Navy Star Series here next weekend, but Wednesday, a big game and a big week leading up to that in New York City for the midshipmen. Trip to the 9/11 Memorial, also a trip to Yankee Stadium for a practice, and a big ball game against Fordham. Chuck Restano and the Navy Athletic Department doing a great job providing a great experience for these midshipmen in New York City. But now they want to get themselves a win. Bases loaded, nobody out. Bottom of the 7th inning, the pitch. High, breaking ball at 74 miles per hour. Ahead in the count, Ty DiPerno. Owen Peterson at third base. The pitch. High. So Peterson at third, Evan Brown at second, Victor Izquierdo at first. At the plate, Ty DiPerno, nobody out, 2-ball count. Navy trails 6-5, bottom of the 7th inning. There's one in the turf. So could the midshipman cross a run on a walk? It was blocked by Michael Toth, the catcher for UMass. 3 balls, no strikes, bases loaded, no outs. Navy trailing by 1. The plebe at the plate looks at a strike at 89 miles per hour from reliever Adam Merritt. 3-1 count. To DiPerno is a designated hitter now. Swung on and missed. Full count. DiPerno with his second at bat after coming in for Chris Klug, had a base hit in the 5th inning. A base hit could possibly win it here for the midshipman. Here's DiPerno. 3-2 count. Bouncing ball to third base. Goes into left field. Scoring is Peterson. Here comes Izquierdo. Coming around is Evan Brown. Across home plate. He scores. The midshipmen win it on the base hit into left field. Scoring 2 off the bat of Ty DiPerno. Owen Peterson scores first, and the winning run scored by Evan Brown as the midshipmen come back in the bottom of the 7th inning to win it by a final score of 7-6. Ty DiPerno on the ground ball past the third baseman Beverly. Owen Peterson was running on contact, and then from second base, it was Evan Brown. Waved around by third base coach Jeff Kane. He dives across home plate, and Navy, like that, takes the nightcap here against UMass. Come from behind, walk-off style here in the 7th inning. For Navy, 7 runs on 12 hits and 1 error in the comeback win in the bottom of the 7th. For UMass, who came into that 7th inning leading 6-5, they finished with 6 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors. What a pitching performance in that first game by Tyler Gren. And here in the second game, Cody Clancy goes 4 innings, allows 3 runs on 2 hits, walked 3, struck out 2. Ryan Bibb comes in, puts 2 runners on, and in 3 innings of relief, Landon Crewer, no, not a save for the all-time Navy saves leader. He gets the win on the mound thanks to that midshipman offense that loaded the bases, and with nobody out, the ball goes into left field, past third base, off the bat of freshman Ty DiPerno, into left field, scoring 2 runs, and the midshipmen enjoying it out in left field now with a rousing post-game talk from their head coach, Chuck Restano. So that'll do it here in the doubleheader. The midshipmen earn the split, winning the nightcap 7-6. We will be back tomorrow, a single game scheduled for 9 innings right here on Navy Athletics YouTube. For Director Matt McMahon and Navy Assistant Sports Information Director Marshall Filipowicz, this is Scott Wyckoff. The midshipmen beat the Minutemen 7-6. Have a good night, everybody.